The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 15th Chapter, text number 46, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on December 24th, 1973, in Los Angeles.
Translation. They all had performed all the principles of religion, and as a result rightly decided that the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Krsna are the supreme goal of all. Therefore they meditated upon his feet without interruption.
Te sadhu pita sarvartha. Artha means interest. Everyone has some interest. The animal has got also interest. The man has got also interest. A big politician, he has also interest. Everyone has got interest. But nobody knows what is real interest. That is missing. Everyone has created his interest and is working on that field. Nati vidu sarthagatam hi Vishnu. Real interest is for the human being to know what is God, what is my relationship with Him, and how I shall achieve the highest perfection of life. That is real interest. Nati vidu sartha gating Vishnu. Sartha, artha. Sartha means own interest, and artha means general interest. The general interest is for the human being dharma, artha, kam, moksha. Because human life is not dog's life, cat's life, so there must be dharma, religion. And religion means no God. That is first interest. This is first interest. Otherwise, how shall I distinguish my life with cats and dogs' life? They are also eating, sleeping, betting, and dying. And if I also, like the cats and dogs, eat, sleep, and have sex life and die, then what is the difference? The difference is religion. In the dog society, cat society, there cannot be any religion. But in the human society, there is necessity of religion. Otherwise, it is cats and dogs society. They do not understand it. They are avoiding religion. Nowadays, the so-called advanced civilization, they are avoiding religion. That means they are coming to the platform of cats and dogs, and actually they have come. Especially in this age, Kali Yuga, yesterday we were discussing about the Kali Yuga, the most fallen age, people are most degraded. So there is, by calculation, that 75% irreligion and 25% religion in comparison to other ages. But this 25% religious life also will reduce. Before explaining this verse, I shall give you reference to some of these symptoms of this age. This is also explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th Canto, 3rd chapter. What is that? We have not yet published, as I am reading reference. Anannato Radhabhischa Chang Jasyanziki. It is described in the 2nd chapter of 12th Canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Tatascha anudinam dharma sattam saucham chamadaya Kalena Bulina Rajan Nakhati Ayud Balam Smriti. This description of the Kali Yuga is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is called Shastra. This Srimad Bhagavatam was written 5,000 years ago, when the Kali Yuga was to begin. Now, what will happen in future, everything is given there. Shastra means, that is, therefore we accept Shastra. Trikalagga, the Shastrakar or the compiler of the Shastra must be liberated person, so that he can describe past, present and future. In the Srimad Bhagavatam you will find so many things which was told to be happening in future. Just like in the Srimad Bhagavatam there is mention of Lord Buddha's appearance. Similarly, there is mention of Lord Kalki's appearance. There is mention of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Although it was written 5,000 years ago. Trikalagga, they know what is past, present and future. So about the Kali Yuga discussing, Sukadeva Goswami is describing the chief symptoms of this age. The first symptom, he says, tatascha anudinam, with the progress of this age, Kali Yuga, dharma, religious principle, sattam, truthfulness, saucham, cleanliness, chama, forgiveness, daya, mercifulness, ayu, duration of life, balam, bodily strength, smriti, memory. Just count how many. Dharma, sattam, saucham, chama, daya. Ayu, balam, smriti. 8. These things will gradually reduce to nil, almost nil. Now, as I told you, the Kali Yuga, there are other yugas, just like Satya Yuga. The duration of Satya Yuga was 1800,000 of years. And the human being was living in that age for 100,000 of years. 100,000 of years. The next age, the duration of that age, 1,200,000 of years, and the people used to live for 1,000 years. Not 10,000 years. 10 times reduced. The next stage, the Upper Yuga, again 10 times reduced. Still they used to live for 1,000 years. And the duration of the age was 800,000 of years. Now the next stage, this Kali Yuga, the limit is 100 years. We can live at most up to 100 years. We are not living 100 years. But still the limit is 100 years. So let's see, now from 100 years, in India the average age is about 35 years. In your country they say 70 years. So it is reducing. And it will so reduce that if a man lives for 20 to 30 years, he will be considered grand old man in this age. So Ayu, duration of life, will reduce. Memory, smriti, that will also reduce. We see nowadays people are not very of sharp memory. They forget. Daily work they forget. Doing something daily, still he is forgetting. The loss of memory. Similarly, Ayu, bodily strength, everyone can understand. Your forefathers, your father or grandfather, as their bodily strength, you are not so, I am not so. The bodily strength will reduce. Memory will reduce. Duration of life will reduce. Then dharma, there is no question. It is almost reduced. Nobody is interested in religion. The churches, temples are being closed, locked up. This is a church. Where we are sitting, this is a church. And it was sold. Because nobody was coming. Similarly, we are purchasing in Australia a very big church. They are selling. In London I have seen many hundred of churches. Nobody is going there. Not only churches, in India also. Except a few important temples, ordinary small temples they are being closed. They have become habitation of the dogs. So, dharma, religiosity is reducing. And truthfulness. And kshama, forgiveness, that is also reduced. We are very sorry that one thing has happened. He was excused, but again he was shot dead. You see. No forgiveness, vengeance. Formerly, if somebody has done something wrong, the other party, just like Arjuna, you see, even in the battlefield, you are so much tortured by the other party. Still you are, Krishna, let them go. I don't want to kill them. Forgiveness. So, even for small interest, they will kill. This is going on. So, sattam, saucham, kshama, daya, mercifulness. Even if you see in your front somebody is being killed, you will not take interest. No mercifulness. It is happening already. So, sattam, saucham, kshama, daya, ayu, duration of life, bodily strength and memory. These 8 kinds of things will reduce. When you will see these symptoms, you will find now the age of Kali is making his progress very nicely. This is progress. Then another symptom is vittameva kalo ninang janmachara gunodaya. Formally, according to spiritual understanding, one man's position was calculated. Just like Brahmana. Brahmana was honored because he knew Brahma. He was aware of the Supreme Spirit. So now, in Kali Yuga, actually, there is no Brahmana. That will be also described, how a Brahmana is. The Janma Achara, a birthright was there. But according to the behavior, if a man is born in a Brahmin family or Kshatriya family, he must behave like that. That was the king's duty, to see that this man is not falsely representing himself. Just like in England, there is Lord family. So, to maintain their aristocracy, the family had to deposit some money with the government so that they may not deteriorate in their aristocratic behavior. Still it is going. But now things are finished. So aristocracy and respectability, these things were according to culture, according to education. But nowadays, what is that? Vittameva kalunina. If you get money somehow or other, then everything. You may be a third class, fourth class, 10th class man, but if you get money somehow or other, then you are very respectable. There is no question of your culture or aristocracy or education or knowledge. There is nothing. This is Kali Yuga. And then, dharmannaya avasthaya karanam balamevai. And if you have got some influence, strength, then in your favor everything will be decided. You are the most irreligious person, but if you can bribe the priestly order, he will certify, yes, you are religious. So, money, not actual qualification. So, if you discuss these things, the long affairs, shortly, and then again it says, Dampatye abhirichihi hetu naiva mayaiva vyavaharike. Dampatye, husband and wife relation, will depend on abhiruchi. Abhiruchi means liking. A girl likes a boy and a boy likes, that's all right. Now let the marriage take place. They do not see what will be the future of this girl and the boy. Never. Therefore, everyone is unhappy. 6 months after marriage, divorce. Because the marriage took place simply on superficial liking, no deep understanding. So things are taking place like that. Formerly, marriage, at least in India, at least up to our time, the marriage was taking place not on the liking of the boy and the girl, no. It was decided by the parents. Just like I was also married man. I was married when I was a student. And I did not know what will be but the parents arranged. What to speak of me, I will give you another very brilliant example that you have perhaps heard the name of Dr. Rajendra Prasad. He was the first president of India. He has written his biography. He was married at the age of 8 years. Formerly in India the marriage was taking place like that. I know my father-in-law was married when he was 11 years and my mother-in-law was 7 years. You see? So actually the point is that the marriage was taken by the calculation whether this couple will be happy in their life. In this way marriage was taking place. Not that a grown-up girl, grown-up boy mixes together and he likes, she likes, then again he left or he... This kind of marriage was not, thanks sir. But in this Kali Yuga, it is said that Dampatye abhiruchi. That's all, abhiruchi. Boys or girls are intermingling freely, and if she likes, that's all right. But no future calculation. This is Kali Yuga. At the present moment, Kali Yuga, a man will think himself he has become very beautiful by keeping long hairs. You have got very good experience in your country. long hairs. Just see how future. Who knew that there are people who are interested for keeping long hairs? But that is stated in the Bhagavad. You see? Kesha dharan. Kesha means hair. And dharanam means keeping. Dure vajjayanam tirtham. And pilgrimage, it must be far away. Just like in Calcutta, there is Ganges. So nobody cares for Calcutta Ganges. But they will go to Haridwar. The same Ganges. The Ganges is coming from Haridwar down to the Bay of Bengal. But people will like to go to Haridwar, taking so much hardship to take bath there, because that becomes tirtha. Every religion they have got tirtha. The Muslim they have got mosque, what is that? Makkah, Medina. The Christian they have got where? Jerusalem. Similarly, the Hindus, they must travel very long. That will be tirtha. But actually tirtha means tirthi kurbanti tirthani. Where there is saintly person, that is tirtha. Not to go 10,000 miles and simply take a dip in the water and come back. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 15th Chapter, text number 47 and 48, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on December 25th, 1973, in Los Angeles.
Translation. Thus, by pure consciousness, due to constant devotional remembrance, they attained the spiritual sky, which is ruled over by the Supreme Narayana, Lord Krishna. This is attained only by those who meditate upon the one Supreme Lord without deviation. This abode of the Lord Sri Krsna, known as Goloka Vrindavan, cannot be attained by persons who are absorbed in the material conception of life, but the Pandavas, being completely washed of all material contamination, attained that abode in their very same bodies.
Tadhyana udriktaya. Dhyana means meditation. So, the Pandavas, always they were thinking of Krishna. While they are eating, they are sitting, they are sleeping, they are talking, they are fighting, Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. When Arjuna was fighting, so there was also Krishna. When they were dealing in politics, with Duryodhana, there was Krishna. Krishna is his friend, always talking with him, staying with him, sleeping with him, eating with him. So, anyone can do that. Krishna consciousness is so nice. If in our ordinary life we deal with Krishna as Arjuna did and the Pandavas did, so what is the difficulty for us? There is no difficulty. Simply we have to practice it. And that practice is bhaktya. Therefore it is said, tadhyana udriktaya bhaktya. This is only possible through devotion and service. Krishna was so near to the Pandavas on account of their devotion. Narad Muni eulogized the Pandavas that Jnanis and Yogis, they cannot reach him, but by your devotion, he is living with you as friend, not only as friend, but sometimes as your order carrier. Pandava sometimes, during the negotiation with the Duryodhana, sometimes asked Krishna, Krishna will take this letter and deliver to Duryodhana. Agreed? Yes? And go. The ordinary peon, then ordinary chariot driver, Partha Sarathi. So this is possible. If he becomes devotee of Krishna, then he can live with Krishna face to face, talk with Krishna, eat with Krishna, dance with Krishna, even in this life. Even in this life. Because Krishna is omnipotent. If you are really devotee of Krishna, he will talk with you, he will dance with you, he will eat with you, everything. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena. Again this bhakti. By bhakti, prem, love, premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena, santa sadaiva, santa, saintly person. This word, Sanskrit word, santa, is also, I think, Latin, saint. Santa. Santa means saintly person. So Santa, those who are saintly person, those who have developed love of Krishna, they can see Krishna every moment. Santa Sadaiva. Sadaiva means every moment. They do not see anything except Krishna. That is saint people. Rascals inquire, have you seen God? And not seeing God, sir, he is seeing every moment. There is no question of seeing God once. No. Sadaiva. Santa Sadaiva. How one can see Sadaiva? Krishna is already there. Ishara Sarvabhutanam Riddesha Ujjavati. Location is given there in the Bhagavad Gita. You can see God. Not you have to go very far away from your place. Wherever you are, you can see. Because God is within your heart. Ishara Sarvabhutanam Riddesha. Sarvabhutana. Not only for human being, but also animals, bees, trees, plants, aquatics, insects, everyone, beginning from Brahma down to the end. God is everywhere. Annantarastham paramanuchayantarastham. God is within this universe, within your heart, even within the atom. So where is the difficulty? Simply you have to make your eyes to see it. That's all. That is premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena. Love. It is not very difficult to understand. If you love somebody, then you can see him always. When you are in office, you are seeing, when you are eating, you are seeing, you are going. If you are actually in love, say if it is possible materially, how much greatly it is possible spiritually and perfectly. It is possible. Simply by this method, bhaktya vishuddha dhisana pare. Vishuddha means purified. Our consciousness is not purified at the present moment. But if you purify it, that purification also is possible simply by becoming in touch with Krishna always. And this touch is very easily made possible. Sinnata, this is the charm. Sinnata. Sinnata means by hearing. by oral reception. Simply, those who are coming here, even they do not know anything about it. But God has given this ear, and let him hear about Krishna. We are therefore discussing so many, we have written so many books simply about Krishna. Not all books published. We have published about 20 books. But we have to finish it. It cannot be finished, but at least to some extent it will be finished by 60 books. And what is that subject matter? Krishna, that's all. People cannot imagine that about God 60 books can be written. There is no, system of religion where you can find not 60 is the minimum. The minimum 60 books of 400 pages can be written simply on God. So that is possible. If we divert our attention to Krishna consciousness, we can chant Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Kirtanadeva Krishnasya. We can read about Krishna whole life, such big literature, whole life. If you read 24 hours daily, that you cannot. Still you have to devote your whole life to finish this literature. So you have got enough material to become Krishna conscious. My Guru Maharaj was questioned by one big politician. He came to see him. So my Guru Maharaj, he was asking us, what are your activities? So at that time he was publishing one paper. I think it is still published in Mayapur. It is called Dainik Daily News. It was a daily newspaper, small. Navadip Prakash like that. Lodhia Prakash. So daily. So this politician inquired from Guru Maharaj, you are publishing a daily paper about God consciousness? Yes. You know what you are writing? You are surprised. The politicians think that newspaper can be filled up with rubbish political news only, that's all. They cannot think that newspaper can be filled up by news from spiritual world. Yes, they have no idea. They have no idea there is spiritual world. So, my Guru Maharaj explained that why you are thinking of only one small newspaper. You do not know what is spiritual world. This material world is 1/4 portion of the whole creation of the Lord. And the 3/4 portion is the spiritual world. And in this 1/4 portion, there are innumerable universes. And one of the universe, this is one of the universe. And in each universe, there are millions of planets. And this planet, earthly planet, is only a small planet in that universe. And on this earthly planet, there are so many cities. And in each city, there are so many newspapers. And each newspaper has got so many editions. This is the position of the material world. Now think about the spiritual world. It is, the spiritual world is 3/4, 3 times bigger than this material. And there are so many planets, so many universes, so many activities. So we can produce, and not one newspaper daily, but every minute a newspaper we can produce. Unfortunately, there is no customer. You see, this is the difficulty. For material news, there are so many customers, but when we put something, spiritual news, no customer. This is the difficulty. Otherwise, you are thinking of one newspaper daily, we can issue every second a newspaper about spiritual news. So this 60 book is not sufficient. It is simply an introduction to the spiritual activities of the spiritual world. People have no interest, they do not know. We are simply trying to introduce it. So, this can be understood by Vishuddha Dhishana, purified meditation. That requires practice. How to purify? Vishuddha Dhishana Tasmin Narayana Padi, and it can be achieved by persons Ekanta Matayo Gatim. A person who has decided, now in this life I must go back to home. For him it is possible. This decision. That is called, in Bhagavad Gita it is described, Bahusatmika buddhi rekeha kurunandana Bahushaka janantasya buddhi abbhavusayana. One who has decided that this life, it is not ordinary life like the cats and dogs. It is human life. I have got advanced intelligence. And it is possible in this life to go back to home, back to Godhead, atata brahma jigyasa, simply by cultivating spiritual knowledge. So why should I waste my time like cats and dogs? This determination required. The cats and dogs are busy in eating, sleeping, sex life, and one day dies. So why shall I waste my time in that way? I have got good intelligence. Krishna has provided me better standard of life. I can lie in nice room, not like the cats and dogs on the street. Krishna has provided for me so nice food stuff, which I can offer to Krishna. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. So nice fruits, grains, milk. So let us utilize these things given by Krishna. Krishna has given different food stuff for different animals and human beings. Krishna has given stool for the pigs, and so nice food stuff, fruits and grains and milk for the human being. Not that every food is for everyone, no. What is called one man's food, another man's poison. So the stool is also a kind of food. Everything is a kind of food. In the stone is also food. You know, the pigeons, they eat the stones, parting. They can digest. For them, the hardest peas are supplied. So they can digest. Pyramotor, it is called in India, pyramotor. Pyra means pigeon. Pigeons, peas. They require such things. That's like the gorilla animal, where they live in the African jungles. We have read both. There are trees, the fruits of that tree are so hard, harder than the iron bullet. You can hammer on the bullet, it may bend, but that fruit will not bend. So those fruits are taken by the gorillas and they chew it just like you chew peanuts or something like that. So those who are not interested to understand this consciousness and the origin of consciousness, they are asat. They cannot understand what is spiritual life. Therefore the beginning of spiritual life in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Denasmin yatha dehi, in this body, in this asat, this temporary body, there is the proprietor of the body. Denasmin yatha dehi, the proprietor of the body. So that is to be understood. So how it can be understood? Vidhuta kalmasa, those who are washed off of the sinful activities. Therefore we prescribe that don't be associated with these sinful activities. What is that? Illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication and gambling. One who is washed off of this vidhuta kalmasa, sthana, that sthan, that place is virajena atmanaiva, vidhuta kalmasa. Those who are washed up. Otherwise it is not possible. If you think that I shall do this and do that, then do this, not that. That is finished. Go on doing this, life after life, and remain in this material world. That is the point. Thank you.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 15th Chapter, text number 49, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on December 26, 1973, in Los Angeles.
Translation. Vidura, while on pilgrimage, left his body at Prabhasa. Because he was absorbed in thought of Lord Krishna, he was received by the denizens of the Pitri-loka, where he returned to his original post.
This Vidura was Jamaraj. So, he was cursed by one Muni to go down and take birth in Shudra family. Jamaraj was very exalted post, but still Jamaraj means the superintendent of death. There is Pitri Loka, Joma Loka, different planets. And where each planet is situated, how many miles, Jojan, the Sanskrit is called Jojan. Jojan means 8 miles. So, how many Jojan is one planet is situated from the another planet? That is all described in the Bhagavad, 5th Canto. So, there is a Pitri Loka, Jama Loka, just like the moon planet, we are trying to go there. But there are different lokas, planets, and you can go not by this Sputnik, by force, no. You have to qualify yourself. Just like to come to your country to take the permanent visa, I had to qualify in so many ways the immigration department. Not by force. Even in this planet, you cannot enter any country without being permitted. How you can enter other planets? Simply by force? No, that is not possible. You have to qualify yourself. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Janti Deva Brata Devan, a person can go to the planets of the demigods, Devan. There are many demigods, Indra, Chandra, Varun, Vayu, Brahmalok, Prajapatilok, Siddhalok. They are in the higher planetary system. This is, we are now situated in the middle. Bhuloka, it is called Bhuloka. Above this, there is Bhuvarloka. Above that, Saraloka, Janaloka, Mahaloka, Satyaloka, like that. Urdhaloka, they are higher planetary, they are middle. And then lower planetary system. Urdhanga chanti sattasva, if you develop sattvagun, the quality of goodness, then according to your degree of goodness, you get promoted to the higher planets. Urdhanga chanti sattasva, madhye tishtanti rajasa. If you are in the passion modes, then you stay here in this middle planetary system. And jahanna gunavrittistha adhogachanti tamasa. Those who are in the most abominable condition of life, adhogachanti, they go down. Not only the down planetary system, but even to the animal kingdom, the beasts, birds, trees, plants, aquatics. You have to go. After all, you have to change this body. Change, this is Bhagavad Gita says, Tatha dehantara prapti. As we are changing this body from childhood, from babyhood to childhood, childhood to boyhood, boyhood to youth, this is practical. You are not the same body as you had your body in the womb of your mother. That body is gone. Now, daily changing, every moment, you are changing body. Advancing age means I am changing body, you are changing body. So it is very easy to understand that we are changing our body. But I know, you know, every one of us, that I had such and such body. You remember that you had a child's body, you are playing like that. When you see another child, you say, oh, I was also a child like him, and I was doing like this. But where is that body that is gone? Now you have got another. This example is given in the Bhagavad Gita. So as you are changing body, tatha dehantara prapti. Similarly, after giving up this body, you have to accept another. This is the logic, and any sane man can understand. So, we have become so rascal that we do not believe in the transmigration of the soul. Actually, presently I can understand that I had such and such body, now I have transmigrated to this body. How I have done, that is not known to you or me. That is called achinta. Perceptive. Just like the child is changing body, and you saw one child on the lap of his mother. Say after a few years, you come, you cannot recognize the same child who has grown up. Oh, the mother says that this is such and such. Oh, you have become so grown up. So things have taken imperceptibly. That is going on. by the subtle laws of nature. This is a great science. There is no discussion of this science in any university of the whole world. They are advancement of knowledge. They are claiming advancement of knowledge. What knowledge you have got? You do not know what you are, and you are advancement in knowledge. Therefore, Sanatana Goswami, who was Prime Minister of Nawab Hussain Shah, when he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his first proposition was that Gramma Vyavahare Kahoe Pandit Satya Kori Mani. My dear sir, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, some neighboring people, they call me, I am very learned scholar. Gramma Vyavahare. In ordinary behavior, they call me, I am very learned scholar. But I do not know what I am. I am such a scholar. This is the submission. This is called submission. Everyone is puffed up that I know. I know everything. So there is no need of going to a guru. This is the method to approach a guru, spiritual master. Surrender. That I know so many rubbish things which are useless. Now kindly teach me. This is called submission. Just like Arjuna said, Shishyasteham sadimang prapanyam. When there was argument between Arjuna and Krishna, and when the matter was not solved, then Arjuna submitted to Krishna. My dear Krishna, now we are talking as friends. No more friendly talking. I accept you as my spiritual master. Kindly teach me what is my duty. That is Bhagavad Gita. So, one has to learn. Tad vijnanatham se gurumeva avigatche. This is the Vedic injunction. Yeah, what is the value of life? How it is changing? How we are transmigrating from one body to another? What is what I am this body or beyond something. These things are to be inquired. That is human life. Atata Brahma Jignasa. This inquiry is to be made. So it is Kali Yuga, without any knowledge, without any inquiry, without any guru, without any book, everyone is God. This is going on. Fool's paradise. So this will not help. Yet, about the Vidur, he also, Viduropi parityajya prabhase dehamatmana krishnaveshena tachitya pitrivi saksaham jayo. He, I was talking about Vidur. Vidur was Jamaraj. So, a saintly person was brought before Jamaraj for punishment. So when the saintly person inquired from the Jamaraj that I don't remember that I have committed in my life any sin, why I have been brought here for judgment? So Jamaraj said that you do not remember in your childhood you pricked one ant with a needle through the rectum and she died, therefore you have to be punished. Just see. In childhood, in ignorance, because he committed some sin, he has to be punished. And we are willingly against the principle of religion that thou shalt not kill. We have open so many thousands of slaughterhouses, giving a nonsense theory that the animal has no soul. Just see the fun. And this is going on. And we want to be in peace. Therefore your Senate House has issued some injunction order that on the 30th of April 1974 there will be mass prayer. So you might have seen that. It is good that at least the managers of the state, they are coming to their sense. But this sentiment will not help. One must be serious. The sinful activities, as we have forwarded our manifesto, that no illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling. But I think they will not agree to this state. And what prayer will do? No. God is not so foolish that you go on doing all nonsense and simply by prayer you become out of it, punishment. No. That is not possible. Therefore I am speaking of the Viduras. So that saintly person accepted to be punished by Jamaraj, but he also cursed him that because in my innocence I committed some sin, you are punishing me in this way. So I also curse you that next life you will have to become a Shudra, because you have no intelligence of a Brahmana or Kshatriya. So Vidura became a Shudra. Shudra means he was born by a king. He was begotten by a king. But his mother was Shudra, maidservant. That was the system, that when a king is married, the father of the princess also gives so many girls to go with the princess as maidservant. And sometimes the maidservants also give birth. They are called Dashiputra. Such son could not claim to the throne, but were provided, Dashiputra. So Vidur's history is like that. He was a Dashiputra, brother, step-brother, not exactly step-brother, but brother of Maharaj Dhritarashtra. But he was a very saintly person, because formerly in the previous life he was Jamaraj, so he was not ordinary man. So he cultivated spiritual consciousness. Now, after leaving this body, he returned again, Pithivi Sakkhayam Jajo. He again returned to his original post. Temporarily, he got the life of a Shudra. Again he returned back by his pious activities. Similarly, there are many narrations in the Puranas. Sometimes Indra, the king of heaven, he was also cursed by Brihaspati to become a hog in this planet. So there are many incidences by cursing, by accident, even by accident. You have to accept a body which you do not desire. So, just try to understand that death is there. You have to die. You may declare yourself, I am very independent, I don't care for God or anyone, but God will not excuse you. You have to die. You will see God in the form of death, just like Hiranyakashipu is saying. Prahlad says, my dear father, why don't you accept God? No, where is God? I don't care for your God. You rascal, why you are chanting Hare Krishna. So God, the atheist may declare like that there is no God, but he will see God at death. And that is compulsory. There is no excuse. So, at the time of death, the mentality which you have created by practice, sada sadbhava bhavita, will act. This Hare Krishna movement, this Krishna consciousness movement, is simply educating people so that at the time of death one can remember Krishna. That's all. This is simple. And if he is fortunate enough to do this, immediately he is transferred to the Krishna Loka. Thank you very much.